Hey everyone, this is Alex in Automotive and More, and for the guys who have been following the channel, you guys know that I've been looking for a new tire to replace my Nitto Ridge Grapplers. These are in the stock size of 265/7017. They're the tires that came on the vehicle. This is a 2022 TRD off-road with the X series package, so it came with a lot of the TRD Pro looks as the wheels and I did do some modifications. It is sitting on Bilstein 15100s and Bilstein B12 1-inch lift springs in the back. You can see that it is a bit higher than stock, and in the front it is sitting on Bilstein 6112s with stock upper control arm sitting there. It's got some aftermarket bump stops. I do have videos on all of this, so please go check out the channel for all the previous modifications on this vehicle. So been thinking long and hard about which tires I will replace. Big decisions. Tires are not cheap, especially now with tariffs coming up. I did want to start getting the tires sooner. So these tires, not the biggest fan of them. They are pretty low right now. Still a little bit of meat in them, so I'll probably have them here for at least another month, maybe two. It's Florida, so the rainy season hasn't started, so no need to do that. So I've been thinking about what tires I wanted. I was between these tires here, which are an AT, compared to the Ridge Grapplers, which are a RT tire, a hybrid tire. These are the Nitto Recon Grapplers, which are much newer in technology and in design than the Ridge Grapplers. And I was also between the Bridgestone Dueler Ascent, which is a little bit less aggressive, has really good reviews from everything that I've seen. About the same price range as this, but a little bit less aggressive in looks. So I was going back and forth on what I wanted. One of the main differences was that the Bridgestone Dueler had a 3-peak snow rating, which is amazing if you live anywhere near the north where it snows a couple times a year or much more. But I live in sunny South Florida, or sunny Central Florida now. I keep saying South Florida. Sunny Central Florida, and I just don't need it. And these tires have really good reviews on how long they last. I actually know a friend of mine that's had these tires for about 60,000 miles on his truck, and they still got more tread than what my Ridge Grapplers have at 37,000 miles. So these tires at 37,000 miles are pretty worn. I expected it. I hear reviews of them lasting much longer than that, but I guess I just didn't have that luck. I think maybe part of that may have to do with if the tire is an SL rating or if it's an LT tire made for a diesel truck. But I wanted to give the Recon Grapplers a try, as these are ATs and not RTs. These should be a lot quieter due to the more closed area and how the grooves are canceling noise. And they should be much better for the rain than what the Recon Grappler, the Recon Grapplers should be much better for the rain than what the Ridge Grapplers were. You can see there's a big difference in how much siping there is on this tire compared to this. So this should be a much grippier tire on the rain from everything that I hear, and just by the design of the tire. You can see, simple things like, for example, each tread block has one line on this one, and these have 2 lines for the outside tread block. Interesting thing is that this is an SL tire, so I'll show you guys the size there. Sorry, it's backwards. Guess I can just turn it right here, that way you guys can see the size. So it's 116T. So it's not an ELO tire. I have seen the E-load tires for this, and the tread is a little bit deeper. Also, they have less siping. If you look at the side of the tread blocks, on these outer blocks here, the LT tire will have only one groove, kind of like the Ridge Grappler. So that should be a nice little upgrade. The reason that I did go for an SL standard load tire instead of an LT tire, like an E-load tire, is because the LT tires, yet they are much stronger and they have a way stronger sidewall, they are much heavier. And for a 4Runner, as you guys know, 4Runners are not the most powerful or most fuel efficient vehicles out there. So anywhere where I can save a buck and save some weight on unsprung weight, I will. So SL tire it is, and this should have much less rolling resistance than the Ridge Grapplers, being a less aggressive tire. So I think I made the right choice over the Dueler, the Bridgestone Dueler Ascent. Hopefully you guys agree with me on that. I think this tire does look better, and it being a Nitto tire, they offer you two different sidewalls. So this is the aggressive sidewall here. You can see it's got those very sharp, kind of like, I don't know what you would call it, kind of like a little razor or claw looking design. And then these are much cleaner. This is the other sidewall. This is a much cleaner, much smoother design. And actually, if you look at it here, it doesn't really stick out as much. It's kind of smooth on each end, where these actually have quite a bit of a bump. Now, since my wife does drive this and she loves curbing stuff, I think I'm going to go with the more aggressive sidewall. You can see the Ridge Grapplers do have an aggressive sidewall. Probably doesn't go as deep as the Recon Grapplers, which is interesting since this is supposed to be the more aggressive tire. But my wife does use that quite a bit, and it does work on protecting the tire. They also have rim protectors on both tires, so that's something really nice that Nitto always does for their off-road tires. And if you guys know about Nitto's reputation, they are known for lasting very long, even though these did not last very long for me. 37,000 miles, it's okay for an RT tire, I guess. I have had multiple Nitto tires in the past, and they've lasted quite a bit. So I'm gonna say that this is a one-off, maybe because it's a factory tire. Sometimes factory tires are made to very specific specifications for the OEM manufacturer, which is different from the same exact tire that you would buy from a retailer. So those tires get made with a little bit of a different compound for whatever reason the manufacturer chose. So I'm going to chalk it up to that, since it is an OEM tire, and I bet you these are going to last way longer. And for you guys that are probably going to ask, these tires are always rotated, wear is pretty even on them, and they're always inflated to probably 20% more than manufacturer recommendations. So they do last, they are lasting as much as they possibly could. But since this is a family vehicle, I could probably get another 10,000 miles out of these tires. Last thing I wanted to cover, guys, is why I went with a 285/70/17. So my truck is lifted 2 inches in the front, 1 inch in the rear. The 265 definitely looks a little bit too small, and that's even with the 1 1/4 inch wheel spacers. So I wanted to fill in that gap quite a bit more. The 285 is as good as it gets without having to do an aggressive chop on the front bumper like a Viper cut and doing the whole body mount chop. So I think that's perfect for me. Also, bigger tires means more weight, less fuel economy, and this is my wife's truck, and you know, we use it to haul around the kid and all that stuff, so I don't need her to spend a lot more fuel than what she needs to. But if she can look badass doing it, why not? So the other sizes that I was considering was a 295 70-17, which is much wider and about an inch taller. I think any wider than a 285, it starts looking goofy on the stock TRD Pro wheels. I think if I had aftermarket wheels, like let's say Method Race wheels or anything like that, a 295 would probably be the nicest option, but not for the TRD Pro wheels. The other option is the 285 75 17, and that's a nice option. But at that option, you would have to do a little bit more of an aggressive front bumper cut, maybe like at least a light Viper cut, or you know, at least a lot of trimming in the front bumper, and also a body mount chop. So neither of those things I wanted to go through on this round of tires. Maybe next round of tires I may consider it, but right now I think 285 70-17 is a nice upgrade. I think this is going to fill up much better. And the other thing that I've been debating is I think I'm going to remove the 1 1/4 inch spacers. You know, as the 285s are going to be a little bit wider, I just don't want them to stick out any more than what there is now. So I think that 1 1/4 inch spacer is perfect for the stock tire size to give it a more aggressive look, but I think for a 285s it would just stick out too much and start looking goofy. So I'm going to take that out, put the 285s on, and then we'll start doing an initial impressions review on what I think on the tires, and then we'll start doing some longer reviews on, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000 and so on, and we'll see how these tires start weighing on the 4Runner as time goes on. But that's it, guys. If you want to follow this project, please give this video a like. It helps a lot. It helps the algorithm. And also subscribe to the channel. I have tons of stuff coming up for this vehicle, and I have stuff coming up for this one as well for my Sierra. I will be doing a review on the 6112's suspension with the Bilstein 5100s and springs and all that here soon, probably in a week or two. I'm just getting some good mileage underneath its belt. That way I can give you an honest review of what I think everything is. And the tires will be mounted probably in a month or two, and you guys will be seeing how that looks as well. Another plus is I've been looking for pictures of the 4Runner with the Recon grapplers on the TRD Pro wheels. Almost impossible to find, so I think that's pretty cool too. You get to have a set of tires that's not commonly ran on the 4Runner. I mean, you see a 4Runner with BFG KO2s or KO3s, and you know, you find a million of them. You look like everybody else. I think the Recon grapplers are going to help the truck stand out and give it that OEM plus look without going overboard. Thank you guys. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what your comments are on my choices and so far what I've been doing, and like and follow for the next video. Thank you guys.